Baywatch is on a mid-season break, so guess what that means? That's right, a Baywatch Nights triple feature. Folks in 1996 weren't deprived of Mitch Von Malibu for 1 second, as they could tune in to see what was happening with his wacky PI crew.
But I'm keeping my day job.
And thus they were treated to 3 weeks of love, psychosis, and samurais. First up, we have a story about Mitch falling in love with a cat burglar. But Allison, I can hear you say, couldn't this be a plot on normal Baywatch if it wasn't already? And my answer is, did the lady have brown hair? Checkmate. Here's some fun facts for you. The cat burglar in question is played by Christiana D'Amore, who, as far as I can tell, is a model who got her big break here playing a character with a name. I would just like to note that one of her 5 credits is a self-produced music video from 2014, and it's incredible. You can find it on her YouTube channel, and please give it a thumbs up. I love it. Oh, and she also runs D'Amore's pizza chain, so if you're in California, maybe check them out. Also, the guy who voiced Roger Rabbit is in this. Charles Fleischer as, according to IMDb, Carl Fleischer. Carl. After a scene of the cat burglar doing her thing in one of the sleepiest cold opens yet, we get, what's this? Mitch Von Malibu lifeguarding on nights? Guys, I'm just too confused. Which show am I even watching anymore? Mitch gets a call from Ryan at his tower asking him to meet with a client later, which just seems pretty unprofessional from Ryan and like a gross misuse of the lifeguard phone line. Also, how is she calling him on that phone line? Mitch, by the way, is facing away from the water for an unacceptably drownable length of time. Why is he using his binoculars from like 10 feet away? Who knows? I was very interested in the pigeon in the background. This scene was unnecessary, as was Griff seeing off these models he was photographing. I'm Griff! This episode is just question after question, which partly stems from boredom. Why is Mitch changing at the office? Why does he not seem to understand Griff's Maltese Falcon reference when we know this was the film that inspired him to become a PI as a child? Why is this yacht club lady so pissy at them? There's many things to be mad about. I just don't know what specifically set her off.
Our club directors felt that perhaps your lifeguard experience could serve us well.
But now that I know you wear dirty socks, out of the question. Okay, fine, you twisted my arm. Put down those obviously empty coffee cups and get to work. Don't forget Garner with his shirt unbuttoned. The Buke Bride Bee Agency is on the case of the burgled yachts. Or, as Ryan calls themselves, private investigations.
Private investigations?
While Mitch and Garner go to speak to the security guard at one of the yachts, cat burglar Nina Cutter is doing some snooping of her own. Now, she might be a skilled thief, but she wasn't expecting this hunk of handsome roast beef to show up on this case.
Who might you be, handsome?
The XXL polo shirt is catnip for cat burglars, I tell ya.
Maybe I can mix a little pleasure with business.
Jerry Ross, I'd like you to meet my partner, Garner Ellerby.
Yes, I remember, from literally the last scene. Oh, shut up. Okay, so this is actually a very important scene. Get ready for this. 1, it's an excuse to do gratuitous close-ups of Donna's boobs. 2, we find out that apparently Nights was bought for her by her sugar daddy, completely undercutting her whole independent girls can do it too characterization.
Oh, no, baby. I love the club. And I'm gonna turn it into a real moneymaker.
Let's be real. She absolutely bankrupted this business. And 3, we're hit with this. Donna is training to be a lifeguard.
Yep, I'm gonna be a lifeguard.
That is the face of a man who is very worried about losing saves because of this woman. Oh man, move over, Mitch. Looks like you aren't the only one who can lifeguard and work at a nightclub simultaneously. Yes, folks, this is actually dreadfully wonderful news, because Donna is in fact going to be moving over to normal Baywatch as well, starting next season. Sure, Ryan is apparently Mitch's love interest and business partner, but aside from one very small bit, she is non-existent on the other show, and Garner apparently lost all of his previous friends and acquaintances, but Donna is going to be getting 2 shows at the same time. Holy shit!
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna save the whales or something. Wow.
Baywatch fans wanting the Donna origin story had to tune in tonight. They just had to. Speaking of unrealistic suspension of disbelief, Nina is still staking out her claim on Mitch. And what better way to get a date with someone who clearly wouldn't give the time of day to such an uggo otherwise than making it look like they ran you over? Not again! I do not need all of this paperwork on Burger Tuesday. I love that Mitch doesn't seem remorseful at all. In fact, he blames her for the accident.
I'm gonna give you a warning. Will you slow down, please?
Look, we know she faked this, but in the court of law, if you back up over a pedestrian, you're at fault. This burglar is very, very good at her job. She knows how to pick her marks and hone in on their weaknesses. Case in point, she offers to make Mitch dinner, and as we know, he will never turn down a free meal. And she says she'll make him lobster, because she knows he doesn't eat much red meat.
Oh,
Sorry.
excuse me.
This is the next scene! Why are women constantly fawning over Mitch this episode? I'm not saying Hasselhoff is bad looking, but this is a ludicrously high number of models giggling over him for no reason. Mitch meets up with Ryan and Garner to see what they've gathered on the case, which is diddly.
We got diddly.
Lucky for them, Mitch has the plan of the century.
What are you gonna do, Mitch? You're gonna wait in the water until this boat burglar makes his move?
Yeah, that's it.
Of course, that's where his lifeguard experience comes in. And while he's just waiting under the water at a random yacht, the other two can do surveillance outside of the water like normal people.
All you guys gotta do is drink bad coffee and eat donuts.
Not real work like me. You aren't lifeguards, you wouldn't get it. Okay, I'm starting to think this is a really dumb, ineffective idea that involves me getting pneumonia from sitting in the freezing cold water all night at some random yacht. Just as they're about to pack it in, lucky for them, Nina strikes again. This was his plan? Dive under the water and shine his flashlight around conspicuously in the hopes maybe he can see a diver in the ocean in the middle of the night? This is stupid. This is so stupid.
Bitch. I thought you were that cat burglar we've been hearing so many rumors about.
First I run you over, then you point a gun at me? We've got to stop meeting like this. This is classic Mitch. She offers him some tea and he just totally ditches the stakeout. What an asshole.
I think you have very nice ears.
I always thought they were kinda big.
No, I think that they're just right.
Ugh, this is the worst Mitch foreplay since that marshmallow thing. Mitch asks Garner to pull some strings with his old buddy Detective Byron Brown to look into Nina's records. Not because he's suspicious, but because he's a total creepazoid who spies on the women he has sex with, apparently.
The male ego is a disease.
Also, he gave her his business number just to call to, I don't know, say the sex was good? I'm the only one allowed to unprofessionally call someone on their work phone.
What?
Ryan is jealous, but she's also a lot smarter than Mitch, pointing out that Nina is the perfect candidate for cat burglary, not to mention the fact her background doesn't match what she told Mitch. Mitch, of course, just focuses on the jealousy angle. Shut up, Ryan! Is it so unrealistic that a smoking hot model I ran over with my car would want to cook me a lobster dinner because of my completely gorgeous bod? You never let me have anything nice!
You got a shirt I can borrow?
Mitch, you have an entire closet full of clothes in this office. We don't need a post-lobster dinner swim sex montage, thank you.
She's pretty hot looking, huh?
You can't have her, I saw her first. Well, Mitch is looking quite the fool, but perhaps he saw in Nina's eyes that the reason she was doing this was to get back at the yacht club for framing her brother for embezzlement. See? She's got a heart of gold. It's cool for her to threaten someone with a harpoon if they just mention her incarcerated brother. We have no authority to arrest you at all, now talk. Did you want the same scene as before, but this time they bought some new equipment and Griff is there and still no one but Mitch is doing anything significant? Well, here you go!
Stop the damn boat!
Hal, there's no time.
Nina!
Okay, now come on, she just took out herself by running into a boat. Cool, another great job by Mitch and no one else. Nina goes to jail and then Ryan has to make big baby Mitch feel better about being a dumb jerk. The end.
Light beer?
No. I'll buy you one.
And no comeuppance was had. Next time on Baywatch Nights, Caroline stops by to be kidnapped, and the Hoff is extremely depressed about how the show is turning out. Ratings extravaganza!